I told myself I wouldn't make another trade video for at least a very long time. But this one actually kind of interests me. And it's also from ESPN. So, I'm going to give it, if it's Bleacher Report, I'm not covering their crap. I'm not talking about their crap. They could say that we should trade away Joe Burrow to a 3-year-old child. I don't care what Bleacher Report says anymore. I'm done entertaining their stupid crap. I've covered them way too much. Other sources also, but ESPN, I'll keep giving them the little bit light of day. Although they are owned, or do they own Disney, or they're owned by Disney? I don't know. Whatever. ESPN claims that we should trade for Kyle Pitts. And it's also the trade. This one does kind of interest me. I don't think we're going to trade for Kyle Pitts, but it could be a very interesting idea, / a very interesting, type of concept here. So hear me out, okay? You got Mike Gesicki. You're going to bring him back. But if you do lose him, this actually gets even better. But if you keep him, number 2 tight end would be Kyle Pitts. Use both of them in a vertical threat tight end type of aspect, right? Really get this offense a little bit more vertical. Number 3 tight end would be Drew Sample, but you move him to fullback because that's really what he is. He's a fullback. Then your 3rd tight end would it be Eric All. And then you have Tanner Hudson or Tanner McLaughlin, whoever you end up going with here. And that could be a pretty good unit. So in reality, if we're breaking this down, you have Eric All will be your 3rd tight end, and your 4th tight end, you either keep Tanner McLaughlin or Tanner Hudson, or maybe you get rid of both of them. Or not get rid of them, but put them on your practice squad, right? Always a possibility. If you don't keep Mike Gesicki, this gets even better because then you have Kyle Pitts, your starter. Backup would be Eric All. Then you have Tanner McLaughlin, and then you have Tanner Hudson. So, again, this actually is not a bad idea. And as it says in its ESPN article, you probably could get him for almost dirt cheap because he's due $10.8 million on the final year of his contract, right? So, yeah, you could keep him for the final year, one last year, or go ahead and get rid of him, or just let him walk after his contract's over with. Not only are you going to get a compensatory pick because the fact you end up letting him walk, so that's going to help you out in the end. So, in theory, you trade a day 3 pick. Let's say you trade a 5th round pick for him. You're going to get a compensatory pick back that's probably going to be like a 5th or a 6th anyway. So, you're pretty much getting him for nothing. You're trading and getting him for nothing. Yes, there is a situation where you're like, well, what if he wants a new contract? Well, here's a perfect scenario, just like Mike Gesicki here. Come to Cincinnati, play for us next year. You have a record-setting year because of what Joe Burrow can put out there and help you with based on how good he is. And then you go get paid a crazy amount of money. And the more money he gets paid, the better compensatory pick we get. If he goes out there, let's say, for example, we get Kyle Pitts, and he goes out there and puts up 700-800 yards, and we're like, okay, Kyle, we're done, man. You can walk. Because he's only 25 years old. Keep that in mind. He's 25 years old right now. So we let him walk. He goes get paid crazy money. We get a better compensatory pick for him. Always an option. We did this with CJ. We did this with Hayden Hurst. We might do this with Mike Gesicki. We're really just a team that gives tight ends who are older one last major contract. Kyle Pitts isn't really that old. But my point is, we're that team, though, that gives these tight ends a major contract. And maybe that could be the thing for the Bengals. Hey, you're a tight end and you have some left in the tank and you have a chance. Go to the Bengals rehab Bengals tight end rehab center, play with Joe Burrow for the year, potentially win a Super Bowl. And your counter is, if you don't win a Super Bowl, you're still going to go somewhere else and get paid. And the Bengals are going to go get a compensatory pick for you. And everyone wins in the end. Happy, happy, happy. Yeah. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. I think this could work out. The problem is the $10.8 million. That's a lot of money. Especially with the fact that we're going to have to pay T, we have to pay Chase, we have to pay all these guys. That's a lot of money. But we cut Sheldon Rankins. We cut some of these guys. We could save enough money to potentially make this work out. And again, listen, there's also a scenario where it's like, well, yeah, but the Bengals like to use 2 tight end formations, but they like to use 2 tight ends that can block. That's why Eric All out-snapped Mike Gesicki before he got hurt. That's why Drew Sample out-snapped him, is because they want to have 2 tight ends on the field that can block. And Kyle Pitts isn't a blocking tight end. Neither is Mike Gesicki. That's why, again, you're going to see less snaps. So now when you have 2 tight ends on the field, who are vertical threat tight ends, they're going to pretty much vulture themselves. But again, look at what Joe Burrow did this year with all the yards and touchdowns. He's going to get enough that is going to get him over the hump. Like, Mike Gesicki had 600 yards. If you have Kyle Pitts and Mike Gesicki in there, and again, if, T. Higgins got hurt or something, you're at least probably going to get 400 or 500 yards for Kyle Pitts. So, I got faith. I got faith, but tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys. Oh, wait, they literally say in here, Falcons get him in a trade, then they would get a compensatory pick after he leaves in free agency. That's literally what I just said. That's hilarious. Anyway, peace out.